All right, YouTube, I'm back. My name is Joe. I got me a little tripod to try to make this a little easier for you guys, or for me and you, actually. so, um, Today is Thursday, the day after Valentine's. Hopefully, y'all had a great Valentine's. My name is Joe. For those, we're gonna try to start this over now, starting now, and try to be more consistent, at least from this approach. But my name is Joe. I'm not yelling. I'm Italian. I've been reselling for probably 20 years, since college. Really, I was the kid reselling my books on eBay, while the rest of my friends were reselling their books at the bookstore. So anything I wasn't using anymore, I was selling on eBay. So I've been doing eBay for a long time. I know a lot of stuff. Been doing it full time for about 7 years now, give or take. When I left my corporate job, and I actually own a thrift store that my wife operates in a town about 20 minutes from us, some real small town in the country, and I resell mainly sports stuff, but really anything. I'm into anything, or not sports stuff, but I resell sports stuff on Facebook. Let me backtrack. I resell sports stuff on Facebook, like autographed football helmets and jerseys and things like that, mini helmets. We do baseball and other things, basketball and all that kind of stuff, but we mainly do football. But the other part of my business is this. So this is where I'm gonna kind of start documenting more. I've got me, like I said, I got me a tripod thing, set stand, which hopefully makes it easier. You can see my area. It is what it is. It works for me. I can definitely right now it's a little cluttered because I got a TV and stuff around here that it'll get better. Drop comments, let me know what you think. Hey, hit me with good, bad, or indifferent. What I can say is, again, I've been doing this full time for 7 years, but been doing eBay I've been a member and been doing eBay since 2000, so 24 years to be exact. So I know a thing or two. I'm going to take you along this journey because this is what I do every day, give you an insight of what I do on a daily basis, and just share my stuff with you as it comes up. So my life as things happen. So this is the what I wanted to do with YouTube. As you can see, before this, my YouTube wasn't. It was. I don't know. I'm just trying to get it going. We'll just say that, because I think I've got a lot to share. I think I have a lot to offer, and I think I think I can learn a lot too. I mean, there's obviously the learning part of it too. There's a lot of resellers out there that I do watch. So it's all about what I can learn and what I can share. So hopefully you guys can learn a thing or two from me. Hopefully we can kind of get to know each other a little bit on this platform. I do want to be on here a little bit more regularly, and possibly even go live, do these live while I'm packing and shipping in the morning, because I do this every morning. It just depends on how long I want to ramble with y'all, and how long it takes me to pack and ship everything. So that's kind of where we're at. I'm starting a new process today, so just bear with me. Basically, I've got my phone set up there, and usually I use my phone to do my eBay stuff here. The way my setup is I've got half my garage set up with shelves going down here and here. The other side has a processing table, and we'll get there another day if you've seen my other videos, which there's not many of y'all, so I'm sure you haven't. But it's on the other side. It's a processing table and some other stuff that storage bins and things like that for when I bring stuff in. So, and then I've got my upstairs bonus room, is where I basically process everything. After I process it in here, I take it upstairs, clean it. I would say my niche is video games, but I know a little about a lot. So, and I know a lot about video games and sports cards and memorabilia, yeah. So that's kind of my niche. But so that's where I'm at. So that's what you'll get out of this, is a lot of either sports and or video game related stuff. I'm Italian, so you may see my parents from time to time. I don't know. They come visit and hang out sometimes, and while I'm packing and shipping and doing stuff. So. My wife is at the thrift store again. She operates. I'm at least going to do these videos Monday through Friday, because that's when I pack and ship. So you'll be with me. If you enjoy this, you'll be with me every morning as long as I can continue doing it. Is my thing that I've experienced, as long as if it's easy, I can make a process easy for myself. I tend to do it, can stick with it, and be more consistent with it. So what I'm trying to do right now is I want to be successful on YouTube to some degree. I'm not trying to be a big YouTube star, but certainly want to share my experience, and hopefully this thing grows a little bit. Like anything else, we're all trying to make money, right? So if I can make a few dollars on YouTube while sharing my experiences and giving you guys great nuggets to take out of this, then it's a win-win. And of course, my main income will always be, I don't ever foresee YouTube being a main income for me, but hey, if I can make a few bucks, that's awesome. But my main thing is reselling, and the sports memorabilia that I do. I actually do that live on Facebook pretty much every night. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. Again, my name is Joe. I'm gonna start this process, and hopefully again I'll just kind of talk about things as I go, and hopefully we can help this thing you know, make this all happen. So here we go. I'm not gonna, let's see what sold today. Let's start there. What sold today? So today we had well, actually yesterday we had a really good sales day yesterday. So like I said, I'm starting something new as far as my process with this camera, because I want to do this every day, make this easy for me. So it's easy to set up my phone and hit record, show you guys my workspace. That's easy, right? Easy for me to do. I got my iPad, which I don't normally mess with, so this is going to be new for me. So hopefully this is easy, and then we can continue that easy train on how I normally do this. So typically I'm going to pull my orders, so we're going to go ahead and do that. So first thing, did this sell? It did. So cliffhanger. I got a buddy of mine that just sold me his collection. Everything is backwards, obviously, but just sold me his collection. So cliffhanger on SNES sold. Also Dreamcast Rumble Pack sold, $25 plus shipping. Cliffhanger sold for $28 plus shipping. Obviously, it's hard to find those complete in box. Old buddy, a buddy of mine from AT&T. I used to work at AT&T. We used to work together, so he's actually Army now, and sold me his collection, and in trade with cash and a football helmet that I had, because again, I do the football memorabilia stuff as well. So I had football helmet that I had gotten, and also had some cash, and we did a deal. And again, this is we had a whole bunch of good stuff. So if you want to stick around, I can show that stuff off, because he had a lot of good stuff. But a lot of it I'm keeping, which he was grateful to give me a great deal on it all. But anyway, some of the stuff I'm not keeping. So anyway, cliffhanger. What else sold? Jade Empire. So the way I do stuff is by I'm not categorized. Like I don't. Let me backtrack. I'm not. I don't have an inventory system. Again, I've been doing this a long time. It's kind of like it's kind of like the Golden State Picker. I think he's kind of the same way I am, or I'm the same way he is. He's a great dude, by the way. I like his stuff. But in fact, we're trying his my wife is going to try his book scanning process for Amazon FBA book stuff. So that's something, because we get tons of books in our gift store, in our thrift store, and we do storage units from time to time to inventory this thrift store. But the thrift store a lot of times is just through donations, kind of keeps floating and keeps rolling. So so books, we're trying that process through Golden State Picker. So check him out. I might drop his link in our thing, and I don't know, tag him. I don't know how this works. We'll figure that out later when I post this. But I do everything by category. So all my clothes are on a rack right here, and in these bins here. I'm not the most organized in the world. And then it's basically just everything on the racks is, I know what it is. It's method to the madness. I've got like 550 items up on eBay. Between the actually have stuff up for our store, our thrift store as well, up on eBay. So we got about 670 items up total. But between the shelves and everything, I know where everything's at, because 90% of it, actually all of it, is pretty much categorized to my madness. If I had my wife come in here, I could tell her pretty much where stuff is at. But she probably wouldn't have, if I brought anybody else in here, they wouldn't have a clue like where to start to look for stuff. And it's not huge. It might look, I mean, it's just a garage. Anyway, I'll stop rambling. I ramble a lot, so you'll have to learn that about me. If you're gonna hang out with me, I do ramble. So I got the Jade Empire. So yes. So anyway, I was talking about my categorization This is what I was talking about. I've got stuff in bins. All these boxes up here are actually systems. So like actually, for example, this sold sold yesterday. So once I process all of my gaming systems, they go in these boxes. These are actually my let me show you. These are my I told you about my football memorabilia company that I run on Facebook. Is BTG East Coast. So you can always check us out on Facebook as well. We do live streams almost every night. But I use the boxes a lot of times. We have boxes that have like credits in them or have things in them that jerseys that I don't need the full box anymore. So I use these for once I process the video game stuff, I throw them in here. So anyway, so I had them all ready to go in these boxes. So that's a lot of these white boxes is all gaming systems on both sides of these racks. It's all gaming systems. So if you see a white box, chances are it's a gaming system of some sort. So anyway, this sold yesterday as well. Yesterday was a great sales day. We only had 8 sales, but we sold a few heavy hitters, which was nice. So this was one of them. I think this sold for $140. Let me put that right there for a minute. Let's go back over here. And by the way, we just want to say I'm probably going to tag the other ones that I watch. Maybe they'll watch me, maybe they won't, because this is going to be my first official. Hopefully I can keep this going video, at least the way this is. Now the other stuff with my picking and all the stuff that I get and you know all that kind of stuff, I'd like to show you guys all that too. And I tried to do that last summer or spring with just showing you what I picked up after yard sales. So I'll try to do that maybe right here, because it's easier for me to bring it in and bring it here and show you guys here, hey, I got this, hey, I got this, hey, I got this. So I may do those videos too from here and show you guys what I get after I pick or after I get a collection and maybe process it here. I may need to clean this up a little bit more or get a little more space to do that, because processing I would. Anyway, we'll figure that out, but I'm getting a phone call. But anyway, yeah, so let me get to the next one, which was a pink DSI. I just listed these actually. Pink DSI. So this sold for $57. The problem is, which one was it? Which one was it? Because I got 2 of them. This one's with the high school game. What's that? That's not this one. All right, so that's that. Tons of handhelds. I had tons. So while I'm talking about, while I don't have much else to talk about at the moment, I had tons of handheld consoles that I picked up last season. So my yard sale season goes pretty long. I'm in North Carolina, near Fort Bragg, if anybody knows where that's at. South of Raleigh, near Fayetteville, North Carolina. But we have a pretty long yard sale season, and because we're in a military town, there's stuff going on all the time. I mean, it's so even on the off season, you know, winter, there's things happening. People are moving, things are going on. So there's sourcing typically is not a problem in a military town. From my experience, I can say I've picked in quite a few different places, and it's cool to see the differences in how different areas are. Like I've actually was up in Virginia and actually ran into Commonwealth Picker 2 years ago, picking his area. I was at my sister-in-law's wedding and just happened to catch him on a Saturday morning I was out before the wedding. It different up there. You know, I went and was in Georgia picking. It was different down in Florida picking, a little different down there. You know, golfing community I was at in Florida, it was all golf stuff. I don't know really much about golf stuff. So, but it's cool to see the differences in different areas. I will say that. But being in a military town, you'll see all sorts of stuff. And one thing you'll see here that you're not going to see in a lot of other places, of course, is what? Military stuff and foreign stuff. You're going to see stuff from all over the place, from Japan, from Italy, from all over the place. So you'll see a lot of cool things, especially if you do storage units around here. It's kind of crazy. And I do try to recycle. I do have a lot of boxes and stuff that I recycle and use. I have family that brings me, or I go grab boxes from family, typically my parents. So I do try to do that too. Let's see. But yeah, Commonwealth. Who else? What else? Oh, and I do watch. I don't know what trend. See, I'm already on like 7 different tangents. Like ADH Dave, kind of. So there's that. Because I do watch him a little bit too. ADH Dave, Commonwealth. Anyway, Caterpie Crew. They're awesome. I watch them a lot too. But yeah. So again, I'm all over the place. Let me get focused on what I need to do. How about that? So we got the Nintendo. We sold the PlayStation. I had sold a lot of consoles yesterday, which I don't normally sell this many in one day, but I'm not mad about it. I'll say that. So we sold a PS2 Slim, and I'll say this also. Which one is this? It's got the Tetris with it. So PS2 Slim. No memory card. Is that got the memory card? Nope. This one might be it. Perfect. All right. See how easy that is? That's my inventory system, folks. How about that? See? Bang. So there's that. So this sold for it was a PS2 Slim. Once I get to packing on it, I'll show more of it off. But that sold for $110 plus shipping. Sold a Motorola Talkabout. I believe that's gonna be down here. Motorola Talkabout. All right. Motorola Talkabout. I guess when you kind of niche yourself into certain categories, you tend to kind of be able to you kind of can inventory them easier. Because like I've got a bin down there which is all like miscellaneous electronics. Then I got actually both of them. Then I got all controllers. Then I've got all wiring. I've got all miscellaneous just big items. Another miscellaneous big items. So all my handhelds, all my video games, boxed stuff, the Bose speaker, I can see it, so it's easy. You know, stuff you can see. All miscellaneous controllers and little, well, not controllers. Uh-oh, is that the mail lady? Uh-oh. Hold on. If the mail lady's here, I gotta tell her to come back. Hold on a second. So, wasn't the mail lady, but that does happen a lot of times. That does happen where I gotta run out and ask the mail lady, can you circle back? I've got an awesome mail lady, by the way. She's amazing. Am I still recording? Okay, I've got an awesome mail lady, by the way. She's amazing. All right, let me get to focus because I don't want these videos to be so long. I don't want to be like ADH Dave and have like hour-long videos, man. All right, so although I'm kind of there, so it's probably going to be that way. All right, so Motorola walkie-talkie set is what this was. $25. It had 2 of these in the charge station. One of them didn't have a battery. $25 still. Again, the pink DS, pink DSi. I don't think I showed that off with the charger, fully complete with the stylus pen. I cleaned these things up. I was gonna go to sit at and then some games bundled in. $57 for that. I clean my games. I'm crazy about cleaning my stuff. Like as far as gaming and stuff goes, I try to command top dollar, at least for eBay, top dollar. So I do my diligence. I test everything. I clean everything. I open things up if they need to be opened up. I fix if it needs to be fixed. If it can't be fixed, then I put it in a pile to sell it later I'll just sell it as a bundle later. You know, stuff that needs to be repaired. But yeah. So all right, let me get on my A game and pack. Show you guys how I do my packing. You may or may not agree with what I do or how I do it, but you know, I've been doing this a long time. I take obviously all the wrap. If there's any issues, I'm confident things don't get broke. I've done it enough. I do use post office bubble envelopes. So if you're anti that, then I'm sorry about that too. But I use them just the same, and I've used the post office. I've been using the post office for years, so I don't think they can really say much, considering I probably spend between the football stuff and this, man, post office gets its share out of me. So as far as my setup goes for shipping, and I'll do like how-tos and learn the stuff, and I do want to obviously bring you guys more more educational type stuff. But as far as what I do for shipping, probably a little old school. Unfortunately, yeah, this may not be as easy as I want it to be. All right, where are we at here? We're at 1.4, so we're gonna go to save. Ground Advantage, $6 shipping. They paid $8.33. Purchase done. So let me see. I don't have I use a Dymo label printer. Been using it for like 4 years upstairs, doing my helmet business, my autograph helmet business. So I've been wanting to bring it down here or get a second one, but they're not wireless. I know they make wireless ones, but I'm just kind of lazy, I guess. I've just stuck to old school printer, and that's where we're at. So, yeah. So we're going old school print. All right. Again, I usually do this through my phone. So I think we're good. This should all be the same. We're going through my iPad. Perfect. Okay. That's fine. I can do that. I can do the feedback through my phone later. All right. So I've got a template set up for my feedback. So this is probably something good as far as sellers go. I've got a template set for my feedback on my phone. So every time I leave feedback, it has like, hey, thank you so much, blah, 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 appreciate the purchase. I forget what my verbiage says, but it also goes on to say, check us out on YouTube, which I don't think I've had anybody come over, but I also haven't been active and consistent and all that. So hopefully today's the day y'all get to know who I am a little more and how this works, and hang out with me more often, and you can decide whether you like me or not. That's that. I mean, I'm gonna do what I do, and I'm gonna do this as long as I can. It's easy for me, which so far this seems pretty easy. I can do what I need to do. I gotta go run out real quick and grab my bin. I've got a bin that I throw my stuff in. So give me a second. I'll be right back. I guess I could bring it all with me, but I'll be right back. Okay, so I've got my mail lady. Going back to that, she's amazing. She's awesome. I have another mail lady that's our like fill-in. She's not so awesome. But anyway, they give me my mail lady gives me the. Oh, I knocked the camera, didn't I? Sorry about that. My mail lady gives me the bins, the UPS, the post office bins. But the not so good mail lady, she always brings them back. But not so good mail lady always takes the bin and never brings it back. So now I've started getting I've got my own bin. Because I told my good mail lady, hey, don't worry about it. Because she's like, where'd the bin go? What's going on? I'm like, look, she always takes it. I'm just don't even worry about getting them and stressing yourself out about bringing more and all that. Because she usually brings me, she's done this like 4 times. She'll bring me like 3 or 4 of them at once. And then slowly over time, the not so good mail lady takes one here and then takes one there. And then by the time, then I got none. And then the good mail lady brings me 4, Anyway, so I said, don't worry about it. We had a conversation yesterday about it. Or the day before, and I said, don't worry about it. I'll dig my own bin. I got a million bins. she can't take this one because it's mine, right? She's got to bring it back now. So anyway, there's that. But yeah, talking about the video games, I do have a disc resurfacer, a decent one, I would say. I forget which one it is. I forget which one it's called, but it's not terrible. It does a pretty good job. It's not the hand crank one. It's the one that's like you put it in, it spins like crazy, and you can do different pads on it and all that. But it works pretty well. Sanding part, not it's a little. If you have to sand the disc, that can get a little sketchy. But anyway, so all right. Packing and shipping. So that was a disc only with manual. So I just used the crap. I stockpile stuff here in this bin. So like extra bubble wrap, envelopes from stuff that I get so I can reuse them. A lot of my game cases that are trash crap game cases where I can just throw, I've got disc only discs that I sell, obviously video games that they're disc only, and I'll end up throwing them in one of these crap cases because for shipping, that's all it's really needed for, is just to get it shipped there, right? I mean, I didn't advertise it with a case. It's just a crap case to get it there safely. So in this case, it was a game and a manual. And again, I'm using repackaged stuff. I got a few more decent ones left. You always have to remember to take the label, or to put your label over the label. That's the main thing there. Never forget that, or you'll probably get it back. So I've had that happen once or twice. You know what I mean? So let's see. This was Jade. All right, and it's purchase. That was $9, free shipping. I don't normally do. So that goes to something else I can talk about. So I don't normally like. My rule for this year, my rule typically, I guess my rule for this year is try to stick to my rule. But my rule initially is don't list anything under $9 plus shipping, or $10 plus shipping. It's really not, I mean, I'll take it, after fees, it's like $8-9, whatever it is. Because you usually make $1 or $2 on shipping, so you usually clear about $9 maybe. Or the extra shipping eats up the fees and stuff. So anyway, it's usually not, that's kind of where you cut off. Now, are there items that you end up bringing down that are under that? Yes. And is there times where you list something that's under that? Yes. But typically you want to stick to the rule. So that was $8.99 free shipping. I only do free shipping typically on like disc only stuff. If it's a game that's like $10 free shipping, I was doing that because I just started doing. Let me backtrack. I just started really niching myself into video games about a year and a half ago. I will still buy anything, and I know a little about a lot, but the video games is kind of where I've settled myself into. Partly because I'm collecting and reselling with it as well. And yes, anyway, that'll be another video. But, so that's kind of where I'm at with it. And, I just totally had a brain fart. Yep. You see, that was yeah. Totally missed there what I was trying to get into. Oh, as far as what I'm trying to put up. So, niche myself into video games, and last year I didn't, $10 was $10 free shipping was kind of like what I would put up. $7, $8. I mean, I was kind of putting up anything. All the games. I didn't have like a cutoff, so I was putting everything up. And I've learned over time dealing with just video games, it's easier to just dump those with a system. So that's why, like, for example, this DSi has the 4 games with it, because these 4 games are like, I don't know, $5 a piece, free shipping. So I mean, it's not worth it to make 2 cents. I mean, or pay to ship it to the person. And I don't do local, so I'm not gonna go. I don't do local selling as far as like a lot of marketplace, and I wouldn't put $5. Well, I guess I could put $5 on each one, and maybe somebody local would buy them all. I've never tried that. I could probably try that, and I don't sell like at flea markets and things like that, or like you know, local places like you can set up your tables and all that kind of thing. Like I don't do that either. So I just throw them in with a bundle and try to get a little bit more out of my bundle. So like this DSI typically will sell for like 50. Well, I've got it up for I think $69.99, which I would take like 60 because it's got the games with it. So would I still go 50 if it's up for a while? Yeah, but that's kind of my thought process there with that is add them with the games. So I do the same thing with like Super Nintendo, any system really, any system that I get that's got games that are not valued that I can't sell for at least $10. Sometimes I'll stretch and go free shipping still, but typically it's if I can't at least get the $10 with shipping, I try not to post them anymore, and then just use them as bundlers with game systems. And just get a little bit more out of the gaming system. Am I going to make up what I would have gotten if I would have sat and waited and waited and waited and waited and waited and eventually sold it for $5 somewhere? No. But it does make the bundle more desirable, I've found, to people that are looking for the systems. So if you got bundles and things like that, you know, people are it's just more desirable. Now I'm getting sidetracked. I'm talking more than I'm working. That's what I told myself. Don't do, Joe. Don't talk more than you're working. I mean, if you get sidetracked a time or two, that's not a bad thing. But all right, so let's because I do have other stuff I got to get done. So I got post this video. But no, I got my other stuff. I got you know, last night we did 3 actually we did none last night. I'm going live today at noon, 12:30 actually. So yeah, I do need to hurry this up. Purchase. Because it was Valentine's yesterday, we didn't do very well. I didn't yeah, we're gonna stay focused here. We didn't do too good last night on my memorabilia side of the house. So, we're gonna go live this afternoon to make up for, or at lunchtime to make up for that. And then we'll go live again tonight. Mainly because it was obviously Valentine's, but all right, so there's that. So yeah, $10 plus shipping is kind of try to stick to my plan, but there is going to be a time or two still that I post games at $9.99 free shipping. But I don't usually do, going back to what I was saying, I don't do free shipping a ton. So, all right, next one up is, let's go easy first. Easy, easy, easy. All right, let's go cliffhanger. Yeah, and as far as my setup, I mean, like I said, old school printer. I just have it wirelessly go to that. I've got all my packing supplies pretty much behind me and a bunch of boxes over there that I will grab when needed. I use a lot of the padded envelopes. I do buy my bubble wrap from American Bubble Boy, I think is where I got these from. Which was, I will order from them again and get that. This is the first time I've actually ordered that bubble wrap from them. I normally order from eBay, but the rolled bubble wrap that I use, the new stuff, because I try to use all the old stuff or stuff I get from friends and family first, which I got a whole nother thing of it over there, but so I don't have to use this as much. But, and then I also, because of my memorabilia business, I've got bubble bags, because these actually go over the helmets. We actually put the football helmets inside our bubble bags. And these come from our manufacturer, so I got a lot of these that I use as well, which is nice. Yeah, so all right, let me get to the next one, cliffhanger. Oh no, wait, I was doing the DSI. I'm debating whether I want to put this in a box. I don't think it needs a box. I don't think it needs a box. It might need a second bubble. I don't think it needs a box. So I'll be honest, I use bubble for a lot. I use bubble for a lot. So if you're not a fan, I'm sorry, Stan, but I've been doing it for a long time. I feel bubble works. Bubble works well, especially when you got padding, like all that padding. I mean, that's a DSI. I could throw this thing and it hit the ground, and I mean, it's got like what? Since I wrapped it, 6 layers so of bubble. I mean, so. Oh well. But yeah, I was doing that as just to demonstrate, by the way. Am I worried? Absolutely not. I mean, let's see. All right, goes back to this purchase. We're going at 12 ounces. So really easy on eBay. You know, obviously, it's all right there. You just plug it in. 12 ounces. I got my little scale from eBay as well. I bought that from eBay. It's I've had this thing, the Accutech. I've had this thing forever. I actually got one upstairs as well. So 12 ounces. I use ground shipping is pretty much what I use predominantly. Sometimes the priority is cheaper, believe it or not, from time to time if it's closer to you. Occasionally that'll be the case. So every once in a while I'll change it over, but typically everything stays ground shipping unless it gets to be a big item. I'm not one of those people that's scared, which to each his own, but I'm not scared to ship big stuff. So you will see big stuff from time to time, and I actually just sold a 27-inch flat screen with a built-in DVD player that went to California. So packed it, shipped it. The guy left me great reviews. Packed it, did a really good job. I got a 27-inch here, big old school flat screen gaming TV that's sitting right here that I'll eventually pack. A stand. I got tulip stands for bows. I mean, I'm not scared of big stuff if the money's in it. So like Guitar Hero drums and all that kind of. I am not scared, man. I will. Big speakers like the the floor speakers and things like that. I've probably sold 7 or 8 in my time. 7 or 8 sets of Bose speakers, Techniques, Sony. Heck, maybe even 10 when it comes to big stuff. It doesn't bother me really. I mean, it's no parade. Trust me, I'm not like yay when it sells, and I'm like, you know, it's like all right. But then you think to yourself, oh man, I gotta figure out a box. That's the hardest part. I think Commonwealth was the one that said I saw one of his things. Packing and shipping isn't hard if you've got the right material and boxes and stuff for stuff to fit in. So I do pick smaller things typically, but I'm not scared to grab, as you can see, bigger items. A big Wii thing. I mean, this came with a bundle, but I'm gonna, you know, it's like $60. It'll sell at some point. It may take a while, but yeah. So I'm not scared to sell big stuff. So this does need a box. So let me find me a little box for this. This is the cliffhanger in box cliffhanger. So I should put this over here. Let me find a little box for this one. Give me a second, guys. There, perfect. That's all we need. Just a little box. All right. So obviously the game is loose inside, so I'm going to put a little bubble wrap in there, just bubble that. The game itself, I think, is how I'm going to do that. Actually, no. I'm going to... It's got the manual in there too, so I think just to keep the manual from rattling around a bit, I think I'm going to do that. And then with the game, I can just throw it in one of these. Again, these are all just stuff I've gotten through the stuff that I've bought. So I try, like I said, recycle stuff. I know I need a tape dispenser. I already know. If you watch this long and you've been with me, stuck it out with me for this long, I know I need a tape dispenser. That's something I do need. I've got the tape gun upstairs. Oh, what the heck is that about? I've got tape guns upstairs for my memorabilia. Hopefully the tape's not too crazy. I didn't think about that. Yeah, this box is mint, man. So I want to try to keep it as is. I think we're good there. I think we're golden. Always do the shake test, man. Always do the shake test. If it ain't shaking around, you're probably in pretty good shape. That's one thing that kills me, man, when people pack stuff and I get stuff from people. Sometimes I'm like, I kind of consider myself a master packer at this point. One of my buddies gave me that nickname, master packer. I'm like, yeah, depending how you look at that, that could be good or bad. If we're talking about packing, we're good. Packing boxes, anyway, we won't go there. So let's see, purchase, where are we at? We're at 10 ounces. So 10, save. Now some people do. I've always, because I don't have my computer set down here. I've never done eBay bulk shipping. Well, let me take that back. I have done eBay bulk shipping. Let me rephrase that. I have done eBay bulk shipping, and it is quick. It's amazing. I just don't have a computer set up down here, and you can't do eBay bulk shipping through the iPad or phone, from my understanding. So I do one by one by one. I do one, I plug it in, I hit the leave feedback, and move on to the next order. Typically, it doesn't take me long, but I do know that bulk shipping is a bit quicker, because in that process, at least the way I would do it would be, I'd have my computer down here. I would have I would go ahead and just pack everything off of my order list, and then I would just go to my computer and just be like, I'd have like my weights and stuff ready to go. And you just be boop, 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 have all your things, all your weights, boom, click one time, and then you'd have your dymo hooked up to it, and then boop, all your labels will shoot out at one time. The only trick is from there, then you got to remember Donna goes here, James goes here, Chris goes there, which ones go to which package at that point. Obviously, if you have a process, would want a process for that to make sure, I'm sure there's an easy way you can do that too. Your first one comes up, just do it in order, probably is the way I would do it. That's the way I do it upstairs with my football boxes. So anyway, that's it. It'd be, but I just don't have, I never had a computer down here set up that way, so I don't do it that way. So here comes the hard stuff. Well, to some folks it might be hard. I believe everything else is, let's see, I got a offer, purchase, what is this? Notification, what happened? Message, all right, I got a message. This guy, so it seems like you accidentally raised the shipping from 6 to 8 while I was bidding. I sent my correct offer after 8. See, I could do a whole video on this, man. People on eBay are freaking nuts. People on eBay are nuts. I'm just going to review and decline this guy's offer. Decline. So, anyway, some people are nuts. I'm just going to say that. I can get into a whole video about how people are nuts. It's wild. I had a lady, man, let me do what I need to do and stay focused, because we can get into story time another time. I've rambled enough this video, I feel like. Having you get to know me a little bit. I can get into those stories when I have nothing else to talk about. There will be days like that where I don't have a whole lot to talk about. So those days can be the days I have story time. How about that? But for now, so anyway, PS3 sold for $110 plus shipping. The guy asked me, how clean is it before he bought it? What's it look like? I told him, I was like, it's got, just like the pictures, got a couple, it's clean. It's been cleaned. It is nice, but it's got a couple, I don't know, just little imperfections in the plastic, as far as like little scuffs or whatever in the plastic, which would be normal because it is, I don't know, 20 some years old now. But overall, great, it works, looks good. It's not trash. It looks been cleaned. So he asked me what's the least I would take. I told him, my last one sold for $110, so I'd like to stay at $110. And next thing I know, he checked out. So there's that. All right. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know if I can link them, but I also watch, just since I'm touching on it, I'm thinking about it, gosh, what's the name? It's the husband and wife. Why am I forgetting the names? Lonnie and Candace. I can't remember the names, but I watch them a lot too. And then Cody with a K. That's the other one. Cody with a K. He's good. He seems like a good dude too. I actually reached out to Cody with a K. So I might tag him too, tag all of them. I don't know if you can do that on YouTube, but I'm going to tag them because I might have to put another order up and some more envelopes. But yeah, I might tag them if I can, because I've definitely been watching them, as I'm sure a lot of you guys that are resellers, if you come across my video, hopefully you enjoy it, but because I would say that's probably the most part of who's going to do it or watch, or folks that are looking to get into reselling, which, again, hopefully I can help any of you and all of you. In fact, story time, it kind of goes back to a chick that I met not too long ago that's a reseller. There's different levels of resellers, man. So if I can help anybody, I had a girl that I did a deal with on Marketplace probably about 2 months ago now. And she had some listings up on Marketplace and video games. If I remember correctly, it was like 2 Xbox 360s and PS3, and I think that was it. I think it's 2 Xbox 360s. Yeah, I think that was it. And she only wanted like $40 for them. Had controllers. They had had all the hookups and everything for them. They looked pretty clean. From the pictures, they didn't look like they needed a ton of work. I was a little skeptical because it was a decent price. It wasn't a ton of margin, but I know I can usually get about 80 for an Xbox. So it was like 40 to 80. It had 2 controllers, so I get to keep an extra controller. Those sell for about 15 to 20 bucks. So there was some money there. There wasn't a whole lot of other stuff on Marketplace at the time, so I decided to get with her. And we started talking when I went to pick up, and she's a reseller as well. And she was asking me, she kind of picked up on the fact that I was a reseller, and she saw my profile and things like that. So she asked me, where am I going to sell this at? And I said, eBay. And she was like, really? She was like, well, I've had them on eBay. I was like, well, how much did you have them up for? And she showed me the listings that she just took down because she posted them on Marketplace. And so she showed me, I think she wanted like $60 for them. And I was like, huh? And I was like, I usually get like 80 for Xbox 360 for with like the what is it, 250 hard drive for the Xbox 360 Slim with the 250 gig hard drive with one controller, the hookups. Games or not games, doesn't matter. Typically I get about 80. I might have somebody send me an offer for 70 and usually I take it, but sometimes they pop for 80. And but I, and so she was just like, huh, man, that's crazy because I can't move them for 60. But then she says to me, but I've also had some negative feedback for it smelling like smoke. And I was like, huh, interesting. I was like, as many systems as I've sold, I'm sure I've had some smell like smoke. I don't smoke, but I'm sure. I mean, my wife does, so I guess I'm still sensitive to it, but I can smell it, but really easily still, and I don't like it at all. But I was like, I never had an issue with that, luckily. And she said, yeah. So I know I smoke a lot, and all my friends smoke in the house, and all my inventory's in the house, so they just start really smelling like smoke. And I'm like, okay, well, I was like, well, and they did. They were in good condition, but they reeked of cigarette smoke. I mean, bad. I was like kind of like taken back how bad it was. I was like, geez, man, like maybe I shouldn't have done this. But I did my thing to them. I also kept them in I blew them out with my air compressor. When they're really bad and have a lot of stuff, I'll get the systems out with the air compressor. I don't normally open them unless I need to do a repair or something. The main thing is wiping them all down with disinfectant wipes and stuff and getting all that smoke off of them. The stuff on the inside might still smell a little bit, but you're not going to get that much of the smell from the inside. I mean, you will, but you won't. Not as bad as it all just being caked on. I mean, you can see the tar when you wipe it. It's all that yellow stuff's on the outside. I'm sure it's in the inside too, but at least you're getting the bulk of it off of the system at that point. And so once I did my magic, I wiped them down really, really good, got them good, sprayed them all out, try to get all the dust bunnies that have all that stuff in it. And, to where it's you really can't smell it. It really has and I've sold all three of those systems, had no blowback, no issues. They didn't smell after I got done with them, as far as I could tell. Now, somebody that's real heightened sensitive might still smell and pick up. Maybe when the fans kick in, if you're near the fan, or maybe if you're near the system, you might pick up a little smell still, possibly. But again, I haven't had any issues. So, but I told her, I replied to her every time one sold, said, hey, I had one pop, had one sell for 70 or 80, and then the PS3 I think sold for 100, and she was like, wow, I can't believe that. I gotta do that, and I gotta get the inventory out of my house. And so just helping her with that, A, and then B, her identifying that, and then it goes back to just there's different levels. Like, you just don't realize it. And she was only reselling on a very small level, but she just didn't realize. And she, how impactful that is. I mean, she did from the feedback she got. So she knew, but it's like, all you got to do is take a few extra steps, and then, you can get more out of these systems. So I haven't followed up with her since, but I think I helped her out a little bit. Trying to kind of, eye opener, like, wow. So, still one more. Oh, did I do this upside down? I sure did. Oh, well. That'll be fine. Luckily, it's just the PS. Oh, I didn't even do that. See, I'm all sidetracked and didn't even. Sorry, guys. That was a rookie mistake. I like to have the box upright. This is the top side, and then I would have done what I did, reverse order. But at this point, it doesn't really matter. But there's that. So that's the PlayStation. All right, we're at 8 pounds on this one. So I will say, this is a little nugget. I do typically set my weights a little lower on eBay for bigger items. For smaller items, not so much. I'll charge, and but for bigger items, I typically go a little lower to help the customer because we get the discounts on eBay. So I actually only had 4 pounds in my calculation for what it was going to charge. Um, but it's actually 8 pounds. So I just updated it. It went from 4 pounds to 8 pounds. So they paid $12.30. So even so, they got a deal because I didn't charge them the full 8 pounds. I technically would have had to charge them more, but because I had set the weight at 4 pounds, it charged them a lower rate. Well, because we get the discounts through eBay, I now bumped the shipping from the 4 pounds up to what it actually is, 8 pounds. Hopefully you're tracking. Hopefully that makes sense. And now it's they pay $12.30. It's only $9.53 for me to ship it. So I still, I'm still up $2.50, and they still did, got a better shipping deal than probably the next guy because they're probably charging the 8 pounds for shipping, if that makes sense. So I don't know if that's just in my mind where I'm being strategic with it. It may or may, I mean, I think it works, but so that's again, if you want to drop a comment there on that, let me know what you think. But let's purchase this label. So to me, it's a win-win then, right? Ship your order. Rate this label experience? What the fuck? Excuse my language. What is going on? Help improve eBay. I guess because on the iPad it had me go through a different screen to rate the shipping experience. I've never had that happen on my phone, but I've also never shipped through here again. So here we go. Excuse me. All right. So there's that. I do get my paper from eBay. I forget what seller, but I get I forget how much, like 50 pounds of paper, 60 pounds of paper. I forget how much it was or what it is, how much. But I've had it for a long time. I'm getting low, a little low technically now, finally, but I've had it quite a while. It's gonna probably spit out 2 now because I'm having to do it again. Okay, little hiccup there. Little hiccup there, but we'll be all right. All right, what we got next? We got the we got the 2 more things, and then we're out of here. So we got the Nintendo, which sold for $140. Nintendo sold for $140. By the way, the PlayStation Slim had one controller, one official controller. If you're a video game person, just wondering, it had one official controller. I don't know, like 8 games, which were nothing substantial. They were all filler. Again, goes back to the filler games I was talking about before. 8 filler games, which I could have put up for what, $8 free shipping, and maybe made $1 or $2 on each one of them after shipping and fees. Not worth it. And they'd have sat for a year, 6 months. Just bundle those in. But there's that. And so anyway, 140 controller. Obviously the power plug, the AV plug, one controller. No memory card on that one. The slim console, and then like 8 games, 110. So that's usually where I'm at with my slims. I'm getting to a point now, which is nice when you niche yourself in like this, which I do appreciate. Now that I've been selling for so long on eBay, I've niched myself into like the games, as I mentioned earlier, and it is nice because I know a little about a lot of stuff. But when you niche yourself into stuff like that, it's again, it goes back to categorizing it easier, knowing how the thing, like how to price stuff. When you see something, automatically I've sold that for 110. Boom, I know what to get. So if I get it for 50 or 60 or 70, or not 70, but well, even 70, if it has games with it and this with it and that with it, it's still worth it because you can get 110 for the system, the controller, the AV, the cables. So now you got 20 games that came with it. 7 of them are like $15 games. The rest of them are fillers. You're in the money even at $70. So it's those things you can it goes in your mind quick. You can be like boom, 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 $250 out of that deal for $70. You know what I mean? And already how you're gonna sell it. You know already that didn't have a controller or memory card. I have a controller and a memory card, so I don't care whatever. I can pick up just the system, or I have the left stick for this and not for that. So I need to grab that while I'm out, or whatever cables. Sometimes I need cables for this or that. Sometimes extra cables will come in a deal so that I can complete this or control. So it just goes back to that too. When you niche yourself in, like I've got a few boxes upstairs full of things that are just extras for things I know that'll come in, like the next Xbox system controller. So I got a bin of controllers, cables, power, AV cables, power cables, and odds and ends. Your memory cards, your batteries just for fixing things, thumb pads for fixing the thumb joysticks, Joy-Con thumb pad, the whole replacement thing for Joy-Con. I mean, just those little things that I've come across. The batteries to replace, like I don't have it yet, I didn't list it, but like the Dreamcast VMUs, the batteries in them, replace those. The Pokemon games, replace the batteries in those. So I've got extra batteries, all that kind of stuff. So it's so now when I'm out and a game is broke or a system is broke or something's broke, I fixed, as another example, I fixed this. I fixed like what am I getting into now? I can't think of the detail or the specifics, but I have fixed certain things in the past that I know, like for example, the Joy-Con joysticks or the Nintendo 64 joysticks. Those are things that I know I can, oh, okay. Those things I know I can replace because I fixed them before and get from somebody, and or if I get them in a deal that are broke, I know I can fix those things. So anyway, I'm rambling again. I'm an hour into this. Are you kidding me? Y'all ain't watching this for an hour. Ain't no way. For 8 items? Ain't no way. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. The last thing that sold was my big item of the day, which I'll show you real quick, and then I'm out of here. I'll go ahead and cut it. My big item that sold yesterday was a Sega Saturn that I've had for about 2.5 months or so. I've had it for about 2.5 months. I actually bought it, ironically enough, high bid through estatesale.net. Sometimes you can find stuff there too. I mean, there's all sorts of sites, but like I do estate sales as well. So I was looking at an estate sale, and I was looking at video games, and had to kill a spider. Looking at video games, just looking up video games on there, and I saw there was an auction. Somebody had a bunch of video game stuff up, and so I got a Sega Saturn and a bunch of games. And so I kept a bunch of the games, and I'm selling the Saturn now. Finally sold for $300. I think I bought the whole get-up shipped from Winston-Salem. Actually, I had the guy ship it from Winston-Salem. I think the whole thing was shipped to me for like $270 maybe. So I kept probably, I don't know, $400 worth of games, and then I just sold the system with some of the other leftover games for $300. So there was also some other things that I sold out of there already as well. That was more of a purchase. As I mentioned before, I collect and resell. So that was more of one of those purchases where it was kind of more of like there was more in it for my collection than there was going to be in it for profit. If I wasn't going to sell everything out of it. And so in that case, I wasn't selling everything out of it. And so obviously, I kept about $400 worth of value, but I made my money back after shipping and stuff. Probably broke even or so, give or take. But that, again, I do every once in a while. I'll do one of those because you don't come across Saturn stuff hardly ever. So there are occasions where I'll do a deal where I may kind of break even on it, just because there's enough value in it for me to keep the stuff that's in it to then break even. But typically, I'm looking to make some money. So obviously, I got a family to support and things like that, and so we gotta grind. But that's it for me right now, guys. This long video's been long enough. Hopefully, you guys watched to the end. I doubt you have, but those are the last 2 things I'm gonna pack real quick. That's it for me today. Thank y'all. We're gonna do this every day, except tomorrow it'll be more just me working, me focusing, maybe a few stories, and that's it. So anyway, have a wonderful rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see y'all later.